Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra Lazarus, and today I will be discussing the topic, the Twixter generation and how society affects our generation today. Enjoy! Growing up used to be appealing. Children were eager to become an adult and do things on their own. There was a time when curious kids were excited to do things and make independent choices. We all remember that time when we would look up to our parents and want to be just like them. All we ever wanted to do was grow up. Unfortunately, times have changed, and independent choices consist of picking a career, finishing a degree, getting a job, keeping grades up, and being financially independent. Becoming an adult in today's age has become significantly more difficult than it used to be. This generation of people who are in between the stages of still being a kid and being an adult on the rise are known as the Twixters, people who are stuck in between adolescence and adulthood. The reality of the matter is that the stakes are just way too high. Society no longer provides young people with the backbone and the financial support to take on the adult world. These Twixters are struggling to find financial independence. The rates of expenses have become much higher compared to how they used to be. This steers most college students toward debt when they graduate, leaving them to pay off their loans instead of using their time to work to become financially independent. On top of their financial worry, their time spent working towards a degree has become increasingly worthless. A 4-year degree is no longer as valuable as it used to be. After graduating and realizing that they can't get hired, some end up going back to school in hopes of finding a better chance. People assume that this generation is slacking. People have this preconceived idea that young adults are lazy. This generation has a bad reputation because of the way it is compared to how things used to be. The reality is that times have changed and things have become significantly more difficult for young adults. In reality, they are working diligently to discover who they are in the midst of building a successful future. Times have changed, and so have people and their standards. That's why it is no longer fair to compare people nowadays with how things used to be. Because things are just different. People are different. Times have changed. 20s have become a whole new era. Considering that there is an overwhelming amount of options and choices to make in life, it has become a time for young people to explore and experiment their options. People are more willing to get out there, try new things, meet new people, and find what works with them. Nowadays, it's no longer about the paycheck. It's about the environment and the connection that people are making. People want immediate results, and if that doesn't work for them, then they keep hopping around until something else settles within them, until they find what best suits them. Likewise, people are no longer willing to sacrifice their lives for a meaningless job. Twixters are searching for an important purpose. According to Arnett, they want something that's more like a calling, that's going to be an expression of their identity, something that shows who they are and what makes them unique. It's no longer about those adults who just can't seem to grow up. It's the reality of life within the new generation. There are reasons as to why adults are taking so long to become adults. Society has made it more difficult to accomplish things within a certain timeline. With this in mind, there is actually scientific evidence that suggests there may be a biological explanation as to why this phenomenon has significant importance. There is no reason to believe that 18 is a magic number. According to Abigail Baird, the brain is still developing. That being said, society needs to stop having such high expectations for young adults. Everyone's timing is different, and that's okay. The fact of the matter is that time has had a far-reaching effect within the changes that young adults face today. In all aspects of the world, life is completely different than it was 30 years ago. At 21, people were supposed to be married and have kids by 25. These were the expectations in the past. Things were very black and white, and society had specific standards for adulthood. With that in mind, Instead of teaching the new generations to fear adulthood, society should encourage young adults to face it head on, despite the inevitable challenges that come their way. They should be taught that anything is possible and that the sky is the limit. We all know how difficult it is to grow up in today's age. To make a change, we can come together as a society and provide support and encouragement. We need to teach the younger generations how to be strong, how to face things, and how to conquer hardships in the world. Having to be strong shouldn't come as a surprise like it did to our generation. Since times have become significantly harder for us, we can prepare future generations to help them flourish instead of becoming afraid of adulthood. There is always a lesson to be learned. Even though it may take us a little bit longer to find our path, we admire exploration, we thrive to our fullest potential, and we don't settle. Those are all good qualities that help people aspire to become the best versions of themselves, despite all the distractions. If society expects Twixters to grow up in a timely manner, then our culture is going to have to stop training young adults to fear adulthood. Instead, our culture should develop strategies to teach young people ways that adulthood brings joy. They need to teach people new ways instead of keeping them stuck in the old ways. Overall, growing up is scary. There's no doubt about that. But growing up in fear, doubt, and resisting life only holds people back. The truth is, we are misunderstood young adults just trying to make it through this world one step at a time. We might not have all the tools, but we have all the power to stop the stigma that falsely portrays us. The future is ours.